Hi everyone, and you open the video with another lunch break with Marie and Jay. Hey Jay, how are you doing today?
Hello, how are you, Marie? I'm okay.
You already finished your lunch?
I'm getting there. Got a half of
Okay,
Mandarin.
sounds great. Today you find the stories for us, right?
You caught me in the middle of chewing, but yes. So yeah, I figured. Excuse me. I figured off of yesterday's episode, we did an actual Reddit story read, and I think that went pretty well. I think the story is a little more tame than yesterday's, but I think it could open up a cool discussion between us. It's about I guess you could say work drama, and I'm sure we've all dealt with that. I'm sure you've dealt with that.
Yeah, definitely. In a way, one way or another, we all involved in some kind of dramas on work.
Absolutely. So what I'll do is I will do some screen sharing, and I'll read the story for us.
Okay.
Today I effed up by accidentally making myself important at the new office. I started this new job after struggling to find clients as a web design freelancer for some time. And you know how it is when you join a new company. Like you're paranoid about looking dumb or useless, so you take more than you can do. First week, I'm finishing my stuff by 2 p.m. because honestly, the tasks seem pretty easy compared to my last hellscape of the job. Instead of just scrolling shorts like a normal human, I'm asking around if anyone needs help. Kind of like coping, but whatever. I was trying to make a good impression. My desk neighbor Sarah mentioned she's loaded with this client presentation, and boom, from there I'm staying late, helping her format slides and fix graphs, and felt pretty good. Actually, like I was being useful instead of just another warm body collecting a paycheck. Things went downhill quick after that. Like the manager notices I helped Sarah finish that presentation, and suddenly I'm the reliable one. Which sounds great until you realize that means you become the one to call when shit hits the fan. It was perfect timing because one of those days I got a fortune cookie eating out at this restaurant in Vancouver with the quote, "Those we sacrifice the most are often the ones who disappoint us most deeply." Even more shocking when I saw a Zodiac Casino ad on it, since they were doing this. Okay. Now I'm getting random team messages at 7 a.m. from people whose monitors won't turn on or staying until 11 p.m. because someone's Excel formula broke. And apparently I'm the only one who understands how to fix it. And somehow I've managed to become the unofficial trainer for every new hire, even though that's literally not my department. Last week, I'm eating gas station sushi at my desk for dinner again because I couldn't leave until this urgent project was done, to which turned out to be formatting a document that could have waited until next week. That's when it hit me that I've created this problem where everyone just assumes I'll take care of their stuff. My roommate keeps roasting me about it, but how do you walk this back without looking like you're suddenly being a dick? So, Marie, how do you feel about that story? What do you think of it so far?
I mean, it makes sense. Everything what the OP described, I totally understand. And it's not a big problem, must I tell you. In a way, how it's like, oh, if I don't gonna do that, they're gonna think I'm a bad person. No, I think it's just in your mind. And if someone will think you're a bad person, you can just be honest. Like, I can help you with this. I'm sorry, I have something. I need to go home. I need to be at home on time. Where I have something else to do. I have my own project. I'm busy right now. It doesn't matter if you lie or say the truth. They paid for their job. You being paid for your job. And I believe the problem is only in OP's head. That's my opinion. I don't know what kind of relationship they have on a workplace, but I don't think it's. I don't think nobody is effed up. He's absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay to be that way. And more you're gonna work, more you will understand that it's
So,
totally fine.
So when you say problem in his head, you mean the problem of being like, hey, this is too much. Like he can't say that because he's worried about what they'll think.
Yes.
I agree. I think that problem is in his head, although I do think it's not totally unfounded. Like I've been in situations where like I will go do a job, like a new job, and I would try to make myself like super dependable. Like, oh, this guy can do a lot of stuff. He's willing to learn. He's willing to do this. He's willing to do that. I can put all these tasks on them. And like I don't think that's a bad attitude to have, depending on what the job is and what your own professional goals are. Like if he's looking at this job, like, oh, like I really like this company. I'm really happy to be a part of this company. I'm going to go ahead and do everything I can to move up and make those kind of sacrifices. Like sacrifice my time, sacrifice my energy, and try to move up within this company. That's one thing. Just kind of like briefly reading and just trying to draw my own conclusions from what he wrote. Like he tried to do this freelance, wasn't getting a lot of work. He's like, I need a consistent paycheck. And like, I think he let his worries about looking useless make him work harder than he feels he needs to. And he's starting to see like, yeah, this is starting to affect my personal life. I don't get home till 11 p.m. or later. I have to eat crappy food. I have to fix all of these problems that they probably would have normally waited to fix. But because like I'm Johnny on the spot, like I'm the guy you can call. Like the best thing to do is just to address it now. Like, hey, I have to go, and you don't even have to have like a big discussion. Like, you don't have to have a meeting. You don't have to be like, hey, you guys are asking me too much. Just the next time someone asks you, just say, no, I can't do it today. But that also depends on what your professional goals are. Like, he's complaining on a Reddit post, so obviously that means that he's not. He thinks he's doing too much, whether he wants to go open this company or not. Yeah, like I said, I've been in that position before too, where like you do come off as super dependable. And people just think like, oh, he likes doing his job, or he wants to get ahead. Like, let's give him the work. Like, especially like if you're doing a task that other people have difficulty doing, they're gonna look at you like, oh, this is easy for him. He can just do it, or he doesn't mind, or like even like I've gotten in the past like, oh, you're young, you don't have kids, you could stay late. Like you don't know my life.
It's silly. It's silly state of mind. If you don't have a kids, it means you can work overtime work.
Right. I'm not saying everyone thinks that way. I was just saying like a personal example that I've gone through.
There's people who think.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it depends. If you need money and you're willing to do this job, as much as they need like extra help, you can do that. You can just go and say like, hey, I do this, this, and this. It's not my responsibilities, but I'm willing to do that. But you need to give me more money because I'm staying this much. I do that. You can be. I'm like a person who changed so much different jobs for different reasons. I can say there is no such a thing as a job that a family or you need to fight for. Like, honestly, only one thing that you need to fight for is your own business. Whatever situation you work in a company, it's not your company. It's not your business. You do your part of the job, and you must be absolutely confident to say, if I do more, I want to be paid more. And if I do my job, I don't want to do anyone else's job. I do my, like, you want a quality job that I perform? Just don't give me any extra. I tried to be helpful. I tried to be like, I had the time at that time and I could help. And right now I can't. I have my own tasks that I need to finish and complete everything. Like, and your work is not my work. You paid for your part. I paid for my part. And just remember that in any job, that if it's not your business, you just a worker. If you don't have a percentage from this business, you don't need to be shy or like let someone step on you. And if they don't like how you act, there is always going to be businesses who are willing to hire you, especially if you do your job well.
Yeah, like I said, not like I said, but the only pushback I'll give is if someone's aspirations or dreams or goals is to get with so and so company and move up within this company, there's people out there that really like the companies they work for. But it sounds like this person's more of just like a role player. Like, hey, you want this job with a good company that pays you for the work that you do. Like, yeah, you're over. If you feel like you're overextending yourself, you are. And if you feel like you're overextending yourself, then the best thing for you to do is to not really care too much about what other people say. You know what I mean? Okay, they look at you like you're lazy now. Okay, you still get paid the same. Like, you have to do what's best for you. You don't want to be eating gas station sushi. That's gross. Like, have you ever had gas station sushi, Marie?
No. By the way, you just say that, and I have it in my mind too. Is like, you want to work in this business, but doing someone else's work, your personal task could be affected, and then they can look at your work and just say like, "Oh, you not do your work well," and just like we're gonna look at you because nobody's knows that you do. Like, I'm talking about the business wise. Nobody knows what you do someone else work or help someone. If your work, your personal tasks are going to be affected by extra work you do to help other coworkers, whatever, they're going to look at you like you not do your work.
Which is why he's probably staying late to do other people's work too, because it probably takes him 8 hours to do his job. And then someone's like, hey, can you help us out with this thing because we're falling behind? Now you're staying until 11 p.m. Again, like, it's not a bad thing to do if you're willing to do the work. What I would say,
and if you have a time for it, if you have a time for it,
or if you want to spend the extra time doing it, what I would do is, because like a lot of, and I've been in this situation before because I've had several jobs in my life. Like, you'll do all that extra work and it's expected of you, but no one keeps track of it. So like when it comes time for reviews or like, you know, performance reviews or promotions, they're going to overlook that because it's like, oh, like, he just does it. Like, let's look at his work. If you're going to go that route where you're going to like do extra and be extra to try to like climb up that corporate ladder, like if you're willing to deal with like all of these sacrifices that this poster is making, I would say the number one thing you should do is probably keep an accurate log of like everything you do. Like, and I started doing this at like my job too. Like, just keep track of every task that you do, when you started, when you ended, what you did. And when it comes time for that performance review, like, oh yeah, you do your job well, have a nice day. It's like, no, let's talk about more because I do my job. Plus, I've done this. I've saved you this amount of time. I saved you this amount of money. And that's actually something that I learned from like the Navy as well, because it's just like every other job, like every job has these performance reviews, and you got to keep track of what you do because leadership isn't necessarily going to do it for you. Like, they're keeping track of what they do and what everyone else does. So if you're going to put yourself in that position, keep track. Like, if you're going to do all these things and like go crazy and stay late, like, keep track of it. That's the best I can say. Either keep track of it, an accurate log, or just kind of gracefully bow out when people are like, hey, can you get, no, I can't. I got to go tonight. I have something to do. You don't have to tell them anything. Oh, why do you have to leave? I just have something to do. You know?
Also there's a mental thing could be that we're not looking into.
Like what?
People pleasing. It's like, I just used to help, like, I don't know, my parents, with my siblings or whatever. And they just like, and I feel like I burn out, but I can't say no. And this way goes only to the depression and be upset. Like, maybe not depression, but you can be really upset. You can be burnout. You're not satisfied with whatever you do now. You're not satisfied with the people because you think people use you, even if they don't. It's kind of using, but they not think they use you. You think that way, and now everyone around you is bad, and now you totally don't want to work here because they use you, and you don't like this job. You don't want to be there just because you have this mental state of mind that I need to help everyone.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, people are in a way using you. Like, I think it's safe to say that. I don't think we're like say anything out of pocket. Like, people are using you, but they might not see it as like maliciously using you. They just like look at you like, oh, he likes to do the work. He likes to do this. This is what he lives for.
Yeah, he's willing to
He
help.
stays till 11 almost every night, and it's like you gotta draw that boundary, you know.
Yeah.
So, do you have any personal stories or anecdotes that have anything to do with this, or are you pretty good about like setting your boundaries?
In particular, I also do the same thing on the beginning of the work, but when I start to like load that, like my work and everything, if I have time, I will help. If I don't, I don't. I usually not asking for help with my work. I'm kind of selfishly understand if I take this responsibility, I'll be paid for it. I need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I have, like I said, I have a different works, different bosses, different relationship at work, and if, like I said, I always, if it's possible, if I have a time to help, I'm willing to help, because it's kind of a thing that, not because I'm trying to be good or I want for like people like me, because usually that's the thing. It's more about I'm interested in figure it out. So for me, it's kind of like riddle or some kind of a puzzle that I need to do. And if someone comes to you and say like, hey, I almost done with this puzzle, just help me to finish it. And I see it as like, oh, I have a time, I will help you with this puzzle. I never take someone like work if it's like, oh, I don't have time to do this work for me. Probably not. I probably say not, because you being paid for this work, it's your responsibility. And I'm really, really strict about responsibilities, because it's work and you need to do your part. It's the same as college. I'm helping if I understand that they don't have enough time. I'm already done. And it's not a full job. It's just helping with something. It's also another thing. If someone give you a whole task to just do it, it's not helping.
Yeah.
Helping.
No, it's not helping. It's doing someone else's job.
Yes, exactly. That's the another part of it. What about you? Do you have similar? Because you said you have experience in kind of the same thing.
For sure, like definitely different like technician jobs that I've had. Like I'll take on like doing extra work by myself, or like staying late. That was like a big thing, like staying late and picking up extra work. Like with my last job, like I would get off of work by 4, but I could choose to stay late and pick up extra jobs. And I would do that a lot. And then it got to a point where the manager would just put the jobs on me without even asking. And it's like, I can't stay late because I had plans. Like, you never asked me to stay late. Oh, but you always do it. It became kind of like a situation like that. And then I kind of did take a hard stance at a certain point and be like, I'm not taking on extra work. Like, I'll call at the end of the day, be like, hey, listen, you put extra work on me, you need to take it off. And, you know, people kind of looked at me in like a different light, because I went from being super gung-ho, like, I'm going to do all this work, to like, oh, I guess he doesn't want to do his part. And I get the poster's feeling like people are going to look at you that way. And some people will, you know, and unfortunately you weren't firm in your boundaries in the beginning. So you're just going to have to deal with that. But don't feel like you're pressured in any way to like have no boundaries because that's how you started off. Like, you could just say like, hey, I realize I have a lot of my own work to do, or I have things to do after work. It's okay. Set your boundaries. It's better to do it now than continue to be this way. And then, like you said earlier, like grow this resentment towards your coworkers. Now in your mind, you work in a toxic workplace when you didn't have to be.
Yeah.
You know, if it's still relatively early, or even if it's too late, just set those boundaries. Like, hey, I can't stay till 11 tonight to do a spreadsheet that we could do on Monday. Like, and that goes for like people who take phone calls outside of the normal business hours. Like, don't. Like, my last job, I had a work cell phone. I left it home. I would come in and like bosses would tell me, oh, I tried calling you over the weekend. Well, no, I leave my phone at work. I don't take it home. I don't get paid extra to answer the phone. And it's not me being rude. It's like if I'm on call and I agree to that job, like that's one thing, but I'm not on call. I'm
And
not,
also, sorry.
yeah, no, and that was my point. Just like set your boundaries, set them as early as you can, and it's never too late to do so.
Now, I also want to add a little bit that it depends, of course, on the position you have. If you kind of boss, you need to be involved in everything. You need to be on the phone. And bosses usually paid more because they are more available during the whatever after work time or weekends. But being just a worker, just to go do your job, boundaries is good in any workplace, relationship, family, whatever. People wants to know what to expect from you and when they can or cannot. I don't think he's effed up. I think he's absolutely okay in a way, like we all trying to be helpful on the beginning, especially on the beginning when you work in a new company, to show that I'm good, you make the right decision to take me. But at the same time, you don't need to break into the pieces because you try to help everyone, because you lose your own time, your performance in your work, and good relationship because you think everyone is using it. Uh, but yeah, just go and say about that. Just be honest. You don't need to be rude.
And you don't need to be specific either. If someone's like, hey, can you do this? Just say, no, I cannot.
Yeah.
Ask me Monday. Let's do it Monday. Like, you don't have to be specific. You don't have to be like, you're crossing my boundaries. I'm tired of eating gas station sushi. Address this earlier than later because you're going to be yelling at people about eating gas station sushi. And they're not going to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's you're absolutely right, and I experienced this. You experienced that when you hold for something for so long, and then it's just come out, and you don't understand. It feels like why, but it's if it's like you pour water in a cup, one drop, one time, it's just dropping, 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 and when it's gonna be full, last drop, and all this water starts spilling around, and nobody's understand. Like, but what? You start to remember something what was many years ago, what they did to you or like say to you. So better just be honest. I know it's complicated. I know I think because you around these people and it's like you don't want to seem
like a
a
jerk.
bad person, like a jerk. But you never know. And if someone find it offensive that you don't want to help them, how genuine they are, like towards you, or they just using you because you're available.
Yeah. You want to close out by looking at some comments?
Yes.
So let's take a look at some of these comments. Let's see what people have to offer. Start taking night classes. I can give you 15 minutes, but I can't stay late because I have class or a date. And the presumption that everyone seems to have that you have nothing better to do after work. Okay. I mean, I don't think you necessarily have to lie, but okay, that is an option. For another commenter, first you figure out what you actually want. Do you not mind these new tasks but want compensation for the extra time and duties? Do you not like doing these tasks and want to do only the actual scope of your job? Once you have that figured out, go to your manager, someone above you, and talk about how you're now handling tasks that are above the scope of work role and how to proceed going forward. If their answer is keep doing more for extra pay, you learn to say, nope, that's not my job. To your coworkers, if you stop being the yes man, eventually they'll stop treating you like one.
True. That's true. That's a good one.
Another commenter, I just kind of like perused this one real fast, but I'll read it. I think it was along the lines of what I was saying. The other commenters are right, but here's an alternative take. Keep up the hard work and parlay that into a promotion at the end of the cycle. Of course, I'm assuming a lot here. and depending on where you work, it may be bad advice. Being the go-to gives you influence. Having influence allows you to shape the workplace. Analyze why all of these people need such help from a noob. Are they spread too thin? Are they actual morons? Figure that out, develop a plan to fix it, then present it to your bosses. If you're in a good company, they'll listen and you'll elevate yourself and your status.
I said that's good. That's smart. That's smart idea. Oh, you need to have this kind of state of mind.
Right, like, and that's what I was saying earlier, with, like, taking log of what you do. Because, like, okay, you're doing all this extra work. Like, what is that gonna become for you? Like, are you just gonna be the go-to guy and everyone wastes your time? Or are you gonna take all this experience and all these tasks that you completed and actually transition into something better? Maybe you might not know it yet, but you could be manager material for that company. You know, you might be a company man or a company woman and not even realize it yet. Like, oh, I am doing all these tasks. Like, okay, they do need help. They are slow here, but I bring strength there. Parlay that into something a little bit better for yourself. Maybe a higher paying position, influence in the office. You can figure out different systems, get bonuses, all that different stuff. So, yeah, I think that was a pretty solid discussion. Marie, you want to end it here?
Yeah, I think if someone of our listeners or our viewers can relate to this situation, I think we open up pretty well to our opinion about that. And yeah, situation is complicated, uncomfortable, but it's not the end of the world. It's pretty fixable, and you don't need to lose no coworkers, no job, and be a bit free. So
yeah, and I think the word no is a very powerful one that people should learn how to say. Like, no, Marie, I will not do dishes tonight. And that was our show. We hope you enjoyed the lunch break. And I will do dishes tonight. I love you.
no, Jay, you're gonna wash the dishes tonight. No, it's really powerful word.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for joining us for this lunch break.
Thank you.
If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. We're always looking to grow. We're always looking for new things to discuss. So drop a comment on what you want us to discuss next. If it's a Reddit story, if it's a topic, a video, we're really trying to open up this lunch break with everybody.
If you have any idea how OP can figure out his situation or your ideas about this situation, left a comment. We're gonna be so happy to read it if you be involved in this conversation with us.
Absolutely. Well, Marie, goodbye. I'll see you when I get home. And goodbye.
Not goodbye, just bye. Just bye. See you soon. Bye.